These bears really aren't dropping any of their hearts. I think I'm just going to go down and get the skitter. Oh! Ah, that's a son of our girl, and he's level 26. Oh my god, oh my god. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. He could kill me. No. No. Ah. Go away. Welcome, friends and foes. Thank you for joining us today. And in this episode, we have our first experience of healing, a few close calls like the one you have just seen, as well as some huge upgrades in our gear, and lots of guest stars from our wonderful community. So, sit back, relax, and join us as we try to make our corner of the world a little brighter, one spell at a time. So without further ado, let's get into the episode today. As we are currently putting together a group for Ragefire Chasm, this is going to be our first experience of healing group content. Very exciting, but also quite terrifying at the same time. In the party, we have Magic Loaf, who is our tank, the man, the myth, the legend himself. He is one of our main community members at the moment, and we also have Sneaky, who is actually my dad making a guest appearance. The other two in the party are random people that we have found when looking for a group, and this poses quite a few struggles. You'll see throughout this dungeon that when you're not on comms or you don't know the people you're playing with, it can be quite terrifying when you're playing classic but also hardcore WoW. As they might have different ways or different expectations. Obviously, this is my first experience of healing. The tank, Magic Loaf, also knows this, so we're going to be taking it a little bit slower and working our way through. I would like to note that I put a post up on Reddit last Friday asking for the priest/healer community to give me some recommendations on best ways to heal and some ways to make this easier for myself. And I got a lot of really good feedback from the community, but unfortunately this is recorded before that post went out, where I got that feedback out. So yeah, this first healing is very much going to be au naturel, base Todd healing. So this should give us a really keen insight to where I'm starting from. Some of the best feedback that I got was to hit totems with my wand to be able to get spirit tap procs, letting my mana be a lot more efficient. And while I kind of tried to do that in this first one, I already have some mouse over macros. You'll see me focusing a lot more on just actually healing Magic Loaf and not throwing in as much damage or being as confident either. What I will say is that my cursor, and I've noticed this in a few videos, my cursor does not line where my cursor is in the video. If anyone knows how to fix that, let me know. I don't think it's too much of an issue, but it will let you, you might look like I'm healing somebody else, whereas I am actually healing the person that I want to. Sometimes I might not heal the person that I want to. So the run at the moment is going pretty smooth. We've got lots of quests to do in this dungeon. Kill Ragefire Trogs and Ragefire Shamans. as well as kill the bosses, pick up a heart from one of the demons, and 2 books from the cultists. So pretty easy stuff, and stuff that you can do in one run, unlike some other dungeons where it might take you multiple run-throughs to be able to complete everything. One of the things that was annoying playing through this is that, my first experience, I'm really trying to focus on being able to keep people safe, and our mage in the group throughout the whole of this dungeon thinks that we're not going quick enough, perhaps, or that he is safe. You can see here that Magic Loaf asks him to stop pulling. There's some lag on his end as well, so it can be quite intimidating as both a tank and a healer to deal with the consequences of your group playing particularly restless or recklessly. I find when I have been tanking, and I felt the same in the dungeons that I've healed so far, you feel a lot more responsibility for your team than if you're a DPS, you're just there along for the ride. So it's definitely a learning curve, to be sure, but it's also, you can see, that's another good example. Pulling a shaman and then Frost Nova, while it didn't have any issues there, the tank wasn't even looking when he pulled here, so if this is you, I would recommend just slowing down. I get that you might be in a rush, but it's not worth the risk to yourself and to other characters, I find. I try and respect everybody's time that they put in. Even at level 14, you might not have put a vast amount of hours, but there is still, maybe 6 to 10 hours of content that you've played, so that can be quite a lot for a lot of us. We're at the point where a lot of the community play in the evenings, they might have kids, they might be working full-time jobs like me at the moment, and the time that they get to play is limited, so having somebody be reckless and throw you back can be quite terrifying. My approach to healing at the moment is to try not overheal as much as I can. I don't have any add-ons to tell me if I am overhealing, so it will be something that will happen. But also try and start healing around that 80 to 70%, and be able to make sure that everybody is okay. Here you can see that I'm communicating with a tank to say, if this mage is making you feel uncomfortable, just tell him that he's not invited, and we can kick him, essentially. I'd rather play it as a 4-man or go and find somebody else than any one of our team feel uneasy at the people or in the dungeon. Nice chill environment is what we want. You can see that Loaf comes back with, he's not saving him, so there's a little bit of that. Me and my dad were actually on comms while we're playing, so we're talking away. Loaf wasn't on comms, but obviously we know him, so there was a lot more talking. You can see me toying with the idea of just telling them to stop it. We are coming up to our first boss up here, and things seem to be going quite smoothly. I have to tip my head to Renew. Renew is a fantastic spell, and being able to offset the damage that your tank takes is incredible. Just gives you a little bit more breathing room when you're healing, which is fantastic if I'm honest. Again, pulling without, yeah, pulling before the tank's even caught up to you it's very brave if I'm honest. But nevertheless, things are going good, and we have engaged our first boss. My thoughts at this moment are line of sight. I want to make sure that the tank, I can always see the tank. Because if I can't, then I can't heal, and if he walked into the room, then it might cause issues with, getting that heal. And we might have a close call, or I might lose the tank. I don't want to lose anyone. You can see in the chat at the moment that Magic is talking about being prepared in case the mage overpulls or there's a mistake that the mage makes. So, yeah. As for mana management, I am really trying to watch it. And this is the first time that I would say I got lower on mana. It happens a lot more towards the end of the dungeon, and it's something that I'm finding interesting, being the conflict of front-loading my healing so that the 5-second rule takes into account. And what the 5-second rule is if you haven't casted a spell in 5 seconds, your mana can start coming back. Tank's taking a little bit more damage in this fight than we're used to. I have to fade off my aggro. Comes out of bear form. We've got a couple of people low as well. Put some renews on them. Back to healing the tank. I'm almost out of mana here, but I think they're starting to come down. Sneaky is losing quite a bit of health. Yeah, and that's worth a drink. In a big pool like that, I'm trying to conserve my mana, but again, this shows the complicatedness of both the 5-second rule being in effect, as well as front-loading your healing. Obviously, as the fight progresses, people are going to take more damage, so I'm trying to time it so that they've taken enough damage that you don't overheal them, and then pair that with trying not to have to heal at the end of the fight. Is a balancing act that I'm starting to try and comprehend and learn, so to speak. These rock elementals do hit very hard. They are quite sore to whoever's tanking them at the moment. You can see that the warrior is getting pummeled. And at this time I could probably, at the end of that fight, I could have started wanding, but again, with it being my first dungeon, I didn't really have the confidence to be able to do that at that point. In today's episode we do have 2 dungeons coming up, though this is the only one I'm healing. The other one I was invited as a DPS, and I don't really know how to do DPS on a priest. I know that essentially my fastest damage per second is my wand. So, spoiler, I might spend a lot of time wanding. But we don't go through the whole of the dungeon, as I want to show the dungeon content as I heal it, rather than if I get invited as a damage class. But yeah, making our way through here. Now, in the past, these guys can be quite difficult, particularly if you're a warrior. There's disarms, I believe, and interrupts as well, so or knockdowns, which can make maintaining threat quite difficult. But Magic Loaf is absolutely smashing tanking this content. On the word of Magic Loaf smashing this content, I also would like to say it's been an absolute pleasure of my life so far to have the community that we do. We have roughly 45 members in the guild, and we have a Discord that is growing, and it's really beautiful to see people from all walks of life come together with the mission of just making it a little bit brighter for everybody. If you would like to join our community, you can join the Discord. It will be in the description below, as well as you're more than welcome to join the guild. And if you play on Doomhowl NA, alternatively, liking, subscribing and commenting on the video helps us reach more people. So if you want to do a little bit to help us grow, help us, combat loneliness, then that would be much appreciated. It's free and just takes a second of your time. You can see we picked up one of the spell books that we're looking for in the dungeon. These drop off of all the cultists in the area, just randomly. This boss is a little scary. He hits like a truck. You can see Magic Loaf goes down to about 50% health there, 60. And he has a knock up ability as well, where he can knock people up, and I have seen him knock people into the lava before, so your tank has to be very aware of what they're doing to be able to not have somebody die. The DPS, or melee DPS, also need to be aware to not be near an edge when they're fighting. But we handle him with no problem, and we're killing those cultists. A patrolling mob walked onto us as we were kind of catching our breath from the boss, but nothing that the 5 group of adventurers can't handle here. As we are going forward, still looking for the next book in the area. While at the beginning of the video, or the dungeon, I was saying how scary having the mage with us was. Oh, there's the other book there. So that's another quest done. That's the one in Undercity complete. But yes, we were talking about how intimidating having the mage is, that's just pulling ahead of everything. One thing I will give props to is that he is really good at being able to polymorph. This pool here is slightly bigger than we expected it to be, a little bit nerve-wracking. We do have a bit of a close call here. I can see that the mage is getting hit, so I put a renew on him. But we're coming through. He's kind of under 50% health at the moment. I'm confused on why he's still going down, but I didn't see that he had a Searing Blade cultist on him as well. He did unfortunately run away from the whole group, so it took longer for the tank to be able to get to him. But you can see my mana is being shot, and even Big Loaf Bear himself goes down to 40% in that fight. Tough moment, but we made it through. And yeah, nobody died, which is probably the best thing. But I remember being very, very stressed as this was going on. So we take it a little bit slower for the next little pool. Try and keep it to 3s if we can. Obviously the Voldwalker kind of counts as a 4th, but usually one of our DPS takes them out quite quickly, so stops us having a lot of damage. While we are going through this dungeon, Dad and I are talking about what kind of drops we're looking for. Playing a self-found, any green item with stats is going to be much better than what I'm wearing at the moment. There's no real, this is quite a big pool actually. There's no real upgrades that I'm necessarily aware of. I think there might be some robes off of the next boss, but other than that, we'll see if they drop. But other than that, there's nothing I'm really looking for. In later dungeons, there will be key items that we want to drop, and as such. Again, I'm not too sure of the priest progression. I think the next major upgrade I have in my mind is the wand from Black Fathom Depths, which is a quest item. It's our next best wand that will last us for quite a while. Yeah, but other than that, I'm not too sure of what kind of upgrades. So upgrades are best for kind of progression of priest. If you do have any ideas, please do let me know. If there's a key item that's the equivalent of the Whirlwind Axe for priests or healers, let me know, because again, this is my first time healing, first time doing any of this, the first time that I have played priest even to probably this level, so it's quite exciting. And we're coming up on the second last boss. We're this pool away. Again, taking the approach of better safe than sorry while we are going through this area. Better to clear everything out. We're getting experience for killing everything, so I'd rather be safe and not accidentally and not accidentally overpull. So here we go. Here is boss again. The priest, the mage did a really good job of sheeping. It gets unsheeped quite quickly, but manages to get that extra polymorph off as we deal with the ads. My mana is looking okay. We're at 90%, 80%, and the damage that we've got, I'm guessing is quite good because of the fact that Sneaky is atop of the threat. So it's taking a little bit more damage than what I would have liked. And I didn't know about this path that you could take up here. It kind of makes me a bit nervous that you're next to lava, but I accidentally pulled myself there. I apologise to apologise to Loaf in that moment. Did not mean to overpull. Mage is a little bit lower health than I would have liked. I'll just pop a little renew on him. My kind of approach to this is that I want to keep my tank as full of health as I can, essentially. You know, up at that kind of 90% is the good point, the sweet spot for me, I think. And then the DPS, I'm not going to be dropping all of my mana to make sure that they're 100% health. If they're, you know, 80%, then I am happy with that. I want to keep the tank as close to max as possible, so that they can, you know, take the damage and feel safe to take as much damage. But yeah, there's a lot of people that have talked about down ranking spells. You can see on my bar that I have big heal and small heal. They are, the whole way through this dungeon I have not used small heal, I don't think. So I think it's going to be something that I have to learn when it's safer to down rank spells and stuff. But we will see as I get better and as I get more experienced to as I get more experienced at healing. We're just clearing the last kind of pats up to, or clearing the last packs, that's the word, not pats, packs. To be able to get up to that last boss. You can see that all of our quests are done apart from kill Basilane, who is the last boss. So we should get a good chunk of experience. We've gotten most of a level just from going through. One of the things that has changed in hardcore WoW compared to normal kind of classic WoW is that in hardcore you can only do dungeons once a day. So we could not go back into here. Whereas in classic you can do it 5 times every hour. So you can come in here a lot more in classic, but the way that they balance it out and make it still incentive to come and do dungeons is that the bosses, you'll see here that the boss gives us a lot of experience when he dies. So this is the last boss. He's hitting fairly hard, but not too hard. Yeah. The boss there gave us 600, 700 experience, so it's definitely worth coming in and killing bosses on the days. With that, we ran out of the dungeon. We had a nice safe time exiting, and we are going to do the run back and forward to finish up the burning blade quest series. So you can see me and Loaf are swapping positions. He's there, I'm back. We'll go and talk to Thrall, and I know that the reward for these quests is staff, called the Staff of Orgrimmar. We got some new green items as well while we were in the dungeon. Some foot wraps and some robes. So that's quite exciting. In terms of my talents, the kind of progression that I want to take here just while we are looking at this footage, handing in quests, leveling up, obviously quite important, learning our stave skill. But yes, the talents that I'm taking is one specialisation into Spirit Tap, and then I am going to stay in Discipline for a bit, I think, get some extra threat reduction so that I don't pull off the tank, as well as there is, I think it's called Meditation.
How will this benefit me?
The discipline tree that lets 15% of your mana regen. With a little time skip there, we go back to Silverpine Forest, or go over to Silverpine Forest to pick up some quests.
What is it?
You can see here
Dark lady,
a little montage of me going around finding the quests that I want to do.
What would you ask?
It's at this time that I also decide to turn on Questy.
Our time will come.
As much as I've enjoyed questing without Questy, the recording footage is getting longer and longer with every episode, and I think having some concise knowledge of where to go and what to kill and what to pick up and where I can even get quests will reduce down some of that stress on the editing side of what I have to do. So right here we're killing some white scalp Moonrage Worgens, and in this area it should be known that there's a dangerous mob that walks around called the Son of Aralgul. He is a Worgen, and there's a couple of them that patrol the area, which we also can see here. We picked up skinning, and we're just leveling that up there. As mentioned, there is a Son of Argol. He is an elite. He is level 24, 9 levels above us. Anything that is 10 levels and more becomes a little scalp. You can see here that I'm asking the guild, how quick do you think one of these could kill me? And the guild get back to me and say, very, 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 very fast. They are very scary. They sprint at you, and they hit very hard. Anything 9 levels above you will hit very hard, but an elite mob will hit us even harder. So we're gonna just avoid him for now. As we keep moving on, we're looking for Grizzly Bear Hearts. We're making our way down to Skittering Bloods, and we're going to go and do the Dead Fields and get Night Lash. The Dead Fields is quite a deadly area, as there are a lot of gnolls around the area that can be quite... you can get overwhelmed very easily there. So you'll have to keep watching and see how we get on there. Skinning as we go, which is wonderful. It helps us with our tailoring, and also just helps us make a little bit extra money. One of the things that we're saving up for is we need 10 gold in order to make a guild tabard. Part of the community aspect of this is that I want to be able to provide a guild tabard for people, but we are quite far away from it, as you can see. Though we get 2 greenies. Unfortunately, they are not great for our character, as they are both leather and both agility. So it is unfortunate, but yeah. Back to talents. I think I'm going to get Meditation for the 15% mana regen during combat, just to be able to help us heal those prolonged fights. And then I think we're going to go into the Holy Tree, as there is a lot of fantastic things there. As you can see, we handled the Dead Fields quest with no issues. Our wand being able to just smack her over to us without pulling anything else. So that's fantastic. Another quest done. Just here, I'm talking about in the guild the Soul Link challenge that me and my dad are going to do, which is going to be recorded for content. Once I figure out how to set up so that you can hear both of us talking, so that I can click any highlights, and then we will be at a point where I want to tank with Shaman. Shamans don't have a designated tanking class, or spec, should I say, but I've done some research online, and apparently they're quite capable at it. Essentially, you just use your Earth Shock as a taunt, you have your Rock Biter weapon, which gives you extra threat, and then you have a fast one-handed, and your shield, and you can tank pretty well. One of the benefits of having a Shaman tank is they can range pull very easily with downrank Lightning Bolt. You can, interrupt with your taunt and stuff. So it's going to be quite interesting. Obviously, they can heal themselves, and as far as I'm aware, my dad is going to do. He's going to do a druid with us. A little bit of foreshadowing from the Son of Argol before. We're walking here looking for more bears, but also not really paying attention. And here he comes. That is a skull, which is level 26, chasing us. So we are a little bit worried there. We do get away, however. Catch our breath. That could have spelt certain death if he caught us. So we'll take a moment, tell the guildies that we almost lost all of our footage and our character, and Toddsir almost healed only one dungeon, which would have been sad. And you can hedge your bets that I am much more alert on the area. So yeah. Luckily we caught it just before he caught us. You can see him walking over there just now. I don't see that in the gameplay, so I try and avoid the path as much as I can. Running up the side and just keeping my distance from everything that I can. With this, we start to come into a period where I do a lot of just mundane killing. Bears and spiders for 6 hearts and 6 bloods. So we will cut this down and make a little montage for everyone. I will join you again when it's over. with the last of the bloods and hearts picked up, we go over and there's this little house here. We're going to kill these wargs for their hearts as well, their discoloured hearts, skin them up, and then head over to the escort quest. Escort quests tend to be quite dangerous in Classic WoW, I would say. There's often more enemies than that will spawn in and cause you issues. But we're a nice higher level. We're level 16 now, so we've had about 2 levels since coming into this video. And yeah, we're killing these wolves like they're nothing at the moment. So no matter what comes of this, I think that it should be pretty easy. Just ourselves. The way that escort quests work is if the person you're escorting dies, then you fail it. I think there might also be a range difference thing. If you run off and just leave them, usually they'll just die, but they'll also fail it, I believe, as well. So here we are, killing through. It's nice that he lets me know anytime he's spotted a wolf. We also get quite a bit of skinning points here. You can see that our skinning is up to level 52, which is fantastic. The way that it works is you can skin 1 level higher every time you get 10 points, I think, or maybe it's 5 or 10. So yeah, just walk on over with him, nice and easy, nothing to be worried about. Could have probably have done it at level 11, if I'm honest. But we'll hand in these quests. The school attacks us, it's very rude, but luckily the NPC helps us there. So we'll go back to the main outpost in Silverpine and hand in our quests there. One of which will send us all the way over to the barns, where we will continue to quest afterwards.
Discipline.
Yeah, I hope everybody is enjoying the episode so far. Like I said, we've got quite a lot still coming. We've still got 1 whole dungeon run and quite a bit more quests.
Embrace the shadow.
So we'll see if we survive. We'll see how we get on. Yes. So, as I mentioned, we are now over in the barns, handing in the quests. There, the wolf hearts. Gets us a new cloak, which is quite helpful, I would say. But yes, it gives us an extra 30 health compared to what we have. So, you can see there's a priest here that buffed us up, so we got a nice high level one, high level health buff. But with this, we're going to use our beer to make us feel light as we fall down and go out for questing. First on the shopping list of things that we need to collect are the fungal spores. So you can see here that we are running around. We also need centaur bracers and to explore the waters here. We need talons from harpies. We need raptor heads and plain strider beaks as well. So we've got lots on our shopping list as we travel around. I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the kind of chronic isolation can be really difficult and dangerous to your health. One of where I got that from was the CDC, is where they did research into the equivalent health effects, and you know, it's part of the reason that I want to build the community that I do. I think that I've been put on the earth to make my corner of it a little bit brighter. So I don't think it's going to solve necessarily people's problems, but I know, and there's a lot of psychological research out there that suggests that having a safe space where you can either escape the hardships of your day, or knowing, even just the fact of knowing that you're not alone, even if you yourself don't share, this can really, really help in, again, your resilience, but your ability to endure. You know, medicine is the best, laughter is the best medicine, and you know, if my content can take some levity into people's lives, then that's all I want to do. Again, if this feels like something that you want to be a part of, letting people know that they're not alone, letting people know that maybe not just them get down or are going through rough times, feel free to leave a comment, feel free to join the community. You know, you can join the Discord even if you don't play WoW, as well as if you do play WoW, feel free to come and join us in the community ourselves. You know, we are a team of people, we're a web of people that are coming together and just want to help out slightly. And then lastly, if you support the channel, that helps us reach more people. So even if you don't want to join the Discord, or you don't want to, you don't play WoW necessarily, or you don't have an active subscription, maybe your relationship with WoW isn't healthy and you don't want to risk that again, then, you know, liking, subscribing and commenting on the video helps tremendously, it helps the content reach more people, and helps lessen that kind of impact for others. So yeah, and it's all free to you. There's no paywalls on any of this. You know, the Discord is free, the guild is free, like, comment and subscribing is all free as well. So if you do consider it, thank you ever so much, and let's get back. So we've been killing our raptors, we've been killing our plane striders, we've gotten a couple of lucky drops, but both of them were really good for warrior. So earlier we had really good druid drops and shaman drops, and then we're getting really good warrior drops. Once again, we're in a densely packed area with lots of harpies to kill, so we're going to do another little montage, just to cut down on the amount of footage that we have. Once again, we had about 7 or 8 hours of content, so trying to get that into a digestible video for everyone is sometimes quite challenging. And I will leave you to enjoy the mass murder spree of the harpies. Now that we're back, we're running back to the barns, or crossroads, and the only interesting thing that really happened while we were running along was we got ambushed by this level 17 rare elite here, Snort the Heckler, and unfortunately he dropped warrior gear. As we're back in town, we get called out by this warrior who wants to duel us, which again, I love the hardcore community. The characters that you meet are fantastic, and they're a little bit of role playing there. Definitely brightened my day. So I hope that warrior is living long and staying safe.
What is it?
Again, we go around and pick up quests. One quest is going to send us to Thunder Bluff, where we pick up some quests for the Wailing Caverns, one of the next dungeons that we will go to. Unfortunately, we fall down the tower. I get quite dizzy trying to climb these big towers, and you can lose quite a bit of health. But after flying to Thunder Bluff, we're going to go and hand in that timed quest, and pick up some of our class moves, as well as the Serpent Bloom quest itself.
I'm listening. No.
There's a quest to go back to Silverpine Forest as well. And this is one of the things that I love about Classic WoW, is how much it leads you back to different areas while you're going back and forward. Questing naturally leads you around the world to where you want to go. For that quest reward, we'll pick up the Swiftness pots. They are a fantastic get out of jail free card as well. So, landing back in the barns for some more questing. We are going to go out for some zebra hoofs, I think, after getting all of the Plain Strider beaks and the raptor heads. We have stolen silver, as well as zebra hoofs to try and collect. While we're not aiming to get world buffs in this character, it's not really a thing that we're looking for. Obviously, if we're in the area, it's quite nice to have that extra strength. Though my only issue is the announcements for them in the Horde side seem to be a lot shorter. In my experience of playing the Alliance, we have roughly a minute, and people are quite talking about, or quite vocal about when they're going to come, whereas on the Horde side, particularly with the rend buff, it can be quite challenging to be in Crossroads or in Orgrimmar precisely at the right time. You can see here that we made the joke about these zebra hoofs having quite a bad drop rate. Questy reckons that it's about an 80% chance. I am skeptical. Each zebra should have 4 hoofs on them. We're only looking for 4 hoofs. But unfortunately, they can only drop 1 at a time. So we're gonna work our way around here and just kill as we go. With that, we have finished the zebra hooves, which is quite nice. And I notice that by this camp, there is a keg that I can pick up for a quest. Chen's empty keg, which is quite nice. We see this hunter here and decide to help him out slightly. And then we're going to make a slight run over to these pools to get to test the dry seeds, I believe. And try and get some more centaur braces. We get invited to do whaling caverns / dead mines, but I'm a little low. I would like to be at least 18 before stepping foot in either one of those. But we're just killing some oasis snapjaws to be able to go and test these seeds out. Luckily, undead have a longer breath timer. You have 3 minutes rather than the 1 minute that most classes have, so it's not as difficult to do underwater quests as it might be on some classes. Making our way out here, killing some centaurs. One of our guildies reach out to us and let us know if we run dead mines to give them a shout. But he is also kind of worried and wanting to be a higher level, as they are the tree at the end does hit very hard. There are a lot of hardcore clips of people getting smacked by the tree itself. So with a little time cut here, we go into quite a dangerous area, this raptor grounds. They are a little bit higher level than what we've been fighting, but we're in here looking for stolen silver. Now, I think we get lucky on the spawn timings. I think somebody's just been in here and cleared it out for us. I'm looking around and trying to see how I want to approach. I decide, while I could probably sneak over and kill just the one that I want to kill, it's better to take a slower approach that is more consistently a little bit safe, in order to make sure we don't get overwhelmed. Taking on a couple of mobs at the moment would probably be an issue, and as we hit here, there is actually a respawn behind us, so let me shield up and go again, noticing that there is a wanderer that's just respawned as well. So we have decided to we have decided to kill that and let the pat walk away. We've picked up the silver, and now we just have to get out safely. Believe it or not, I would count this as a cave, as once again there is only one way in and one way out, and there's lots of close enemies all together. So running down to Ratchet to hand in the keg quest, and see about picking up some other quests there, such as the raptor horns, and some other quests potentially. Just having a look. We've got quite a full quest log at the moment. Definitely want to take the pirates quest. Is that something that I intend to do at the moment? Not right this second, however. We've got a couple of grey quests that we could get rid of. but we go out to decide, or we decide to go out to Crowbars and start killing them again, as we've got a quest to get the bosses, as well as geomancers and defenders. This once again is quite a dangerous area for us to be in. There's quite a lot of deaths, but with us being level 17 and them level 12, we should be a little bit better and a little bit safer. Not that I would ever say that you're safe in hardcore WoW. So we're just killing through. We need 16 of these Razor Mains, 8 Geomancers, 8 Defenders, and then we also need to kill their boss. So we'll have to see if we can isolate him and ensure that we can pick him up. Once again, Zandalar buff drops, and we're quite near, but not near enough if I'm honest, which is kind of annoying, but hey ho. There's quite a few players around here, so we seem to be okay in terms of potentially having somebody to save us if we overpulled. Having a look around, I believe this is where the boss tends to spawn the most common. So we'll just start killing our way in here, and yeah, that's him just there. We'll see if we can make our way to him. As he walks back, pull him with a wand. And we got him and only him, which makes it nice and easy for us. So now we just need 5 Geomancers. The best place I've found to get Geomancers is over by these huts. They are quite tightly packed, however. So we'll try and run away to pull them out of their camp. Nice. Now, I know a lot of priests open with Mind Blast. However, in Todd's kind of mission, I think that I'd quite like the idea of not using or not relying so much on shadow spells. We do pull 2 here. I think we'll be fine though. Start wanding. They do hit very hard. But our shield and our healing and our wand are nice and safe. But yes, while we could use Mind Blast to pull enemies, I think we will stick to Smite or kind of more holy spells. I think later they get a spell called Holy Fire, which is quite good. And I think this will complement us as we go into the Holy Tree as well. So back out to, after handing in some of those quests and leveling it up, we're heading back out to get some more Centaur Bracers, but mainly to get the Altered Snapjaw Shell, which is nice. just again wanding these guys down. They're a little bit lower of a level, so it's nice and safe for us. One of the talents I'm most looking forward to in the Holy Tree is the first one. I can't remember its name off the top of my head at the moment, but it gives us 5% critical strike with all our holy spells. So it's kind of fantastic, if I'm honest, just for being able to, for being able to get us to do more damage with our holy spells, but also heal more. 5% crit will also affect our healing rate as well, so incredible on both ends. Excitingly, while we are killing these snapjaws, we're about halfway through getting their shells at the moment, but while we are doing this, Pinky Boy asks if anyone wants to run Dead Mines or Wailing Caverns. So at this point, I think we're level 18, and I would love to do it. I would love to do it. So I let him know that, get an invite, and there's already a 4-man group ready, with me included now. So we're just needing one more player. And I quickly realise that there is another priest in the group as well. So after some time finding the last member of our group, we decide to go to Dead Mines, and I find out that Hot Glue Gun would like to be our healer. So I am in as a damage role, and not a lot of Horde characters do Dead Mines, I would say, particularly because you have to take the Zeppelin from Strangleform, just as we are here, and then you want to jump off and swim north. Now this footage is very much sped up, and a warning for the kind of flashing under the water and then back up into the sun. I was trying to see under the water, as there are a lot of murlocs that swim in the area and can be rather deadly. But this was the first time that I've made this jump in perhaps 10 years, so it's not a common thing that Horde characters do. Obviously, Toddsir wants to see every dungeon, heal every dungeon, and if the opportunity presents itself, he's gonna do fun things like this. Again, it's a bit of a long swim, and it's a bit of a long swim, but it's relatively safe. You can see that just now we are coming up on, we're already coming up on the pier of Westfall, which is an alliance zone. Fun fact about this zone though is you can see the lighthouse over on the left hand side. There is a ghost there that has 3 quests, and either side, either faction can do these quests. So we could go over and do those quests. We don't do it just now, nor have I done it yet, but we make our way up. And this Dead Mines run, as it is, as Todd is being a damage dealer rather than, well, he's being a damage dealer rather than the healer that he set out to be, it is only going to be a highlights run. The Dead Mines will come later in our adventures, but I can tell you now, it's still worth watching, as there are some big upgrades coming. If some of you have seen the short that released alongside this, then you might have a bit of an inclination of one of the upgrades that drops during this run. So here we are at our first boss. Once again, please do not judge my ability to deal damage as a priest. I honestly, there's part of me that kind of heals alongside as much as I can, just as I think that's maybe what I'm, yeah, it's where my utility lies. It's taking some pressure off of the healer's mana bar. But yeah, we've got 3 guildmates in this run here, which is quite nice if I'm honest. Again, being with guild members definitely makes me feel a lot safer. And that first boss went down with no issues. You can see that the priest, the priest leveled up because of that, and yeah, it's now level 20, so he's a couple of levels higher than us. Moving on to Sneed and his shredder, putting some dots onto him, and then again just kind of sitting wanding. It's the most damage in the world around us, so why not use it as the most damage for bosses as well. Now unfortunately somebody does get feared into a mob, but the tank is fantastic, and again another guildie picks it up and is able to keep us safe during all of this. One of the biggest things that the Reddit post and all the advice that I got on there has helped me with is being able to reframe how I see the shield. Obviously putting a shield on a tank is a bad thing to do, don't do it, but yeah, when you put it on a DPS or yourself, it stops a lot of the damage and gives a little buffer room, or a lot of buffer room, which is quite nice, for sure. Here we are in our next boss fight. Again, very smooth group, just kind of killing on. And the agility, intellect ring drops. But unfortunately we do not win it. So I believe that the ring goes to the other priest, which is quite nice for them. And here we are fighting Mr. Smite. You can see that in the time between our last dungeon and this dungeon, I took the advice of the Reddit post and did download Healbot, which are the little squares that you can see at the left hand side of my frame. Just gives me a little clearer, a little easier place to keep my cursor when I'm healing. It means that I can target people a lot easier and just make sure that they're still safe, so to speak. But yeah, again, we're
you're making me
killing Smite as much as we can, and he's got a couple of interrupts, which is very unfortunate. And he drops Thief Blade, which isn't even better for our robe, but it is it's an okay one. And here we are about to start fighting the Captain Greenskin and his crew. They are quite tricky. It's a big pool for sure. There's 4 enemies in total, and they have a route. So I tend to focus down the mage first, so that Frost Nova doesn't get us into any issues. You can see the Pinky Boy is taking quite a bit of damage. But yes. Now this boss does drop a staff. I believe that it's around 35%, 31%, sorry, and the Emberstone staff. Fantastic staff for casters. Really iconic in terms of its look. I would say that it's one of the most eye-catching low-level look that there is. And while I might not have seen it drop before, I feel like it never drops, but it does indeed drop for us here. And we win it as well, which is a really big upgrade, as well as our first blue item on this character. A really big achievement and a really big moment for Toddsir and his journey. You can see it there, the pink staff sat on his back.
None may challenge the Brotherhood.
Lots and lots of stats on top of it. But here we are fighting the last boss, who is Edwin Van Cleef. There's a couple of Defiance blackguards with him, who you definitely want to focus down first. And then, if you can, if somebody in your group has a stun, you want to try and stun Van Cleef at around 50%. Probably 52 is where I would use it, so that he doesn't summon another 2 allies. You can see here we got a warning saying that he has summoned them, so it could be a little bit dicey. Again, I like to focus the ads first, just to lower the amount of damage that our warrior, or our druid is taking, sorry. Take pressure off of our healer. And Van Cleef also has a cloth item he can drop for casters, which he does indeed drop. This would be okay for us. It's got a lot of spirit and it's got some health. Unfortunately, we do not get it to drop. We do not win the roll, I should say. But here is what we're all in here for. I mean, the priest definitely. And it is Cookie's Stirring Head. I would love this wand. It's a nice upgrade for us. But we do get the mace instead. Unfortunate that we don't get. Unfortunately we don't get the mace, the wand there. But with that, we start wrapping up this episode. Once again, I'd like to thank anyone that has made it this far into the video. Your support and your watch means a lot to me. Take a moment, please consider subscribing if you like the content. Leave a like. If you didn't like the content, leave a comment. Tell me what you want to see improve. Tell me, your thoughts, your feelings, any questions or insults you may have. And we're just going to run out here, and we're going to leave it. And that's us maxed out our spirit tap there. And I thank everyone that has came along for this episode, and remind everyone to please stay safe out there, and keep making your corner of the world just a little bit brighter, whether that's through healing spells, one spell at a time like Todd, or just by the interactions that you have with the people around you. Once again, I've been Todd, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.